I'm gonna like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream this tomorrow, like, so I'm gonna give like my opinions on the PTR right now. Like, these boss powers are so uninspired. Like, I don't know what to think about these boss powers. Like, most of this stuff is so uninspired and boring. You've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abilities that you can choose from. One of them doesn't even work half the time because it spawns like where you are instead of like behind the enemy. So you have to go behind the enemy. It's not always possible to go behind the enemy. And sometimes like for instance, if you're fighting Belial, like how do you even damage Belial with it? Like spawn it on the other side of the map and then run over to the other side of the map real quick and actually use it. Like this ability right here seems kind of cool, but it sucks. This one here, like, is like these little stars that like fall randomly, like all over the screen, and it's about as useful as a fart in the wind when you're trying to like catch somebody off guard. You're like, I'm gonna fart on this guy, and then the wind just carries it away. Like, Celestial Surge is only useful if the monsters are standing still and let the stars hit them. Astral Pillar seems kind of interesting because it actually sits there and it actually does damage, but I can't tell how much damage it's actually doing because, like, I don't know. Maybe one thing they should probably do is, like, for these special abilities, they should give the damage numbers special colors because, like, fuck if I know, like, what damage they're doing because it's lost in a sea of damage numbers. So, like, is this doing any good damage? I don't know. Because I can't see it in a sea of damage numbers that are on the screen. Like, maybe make it purple or something. Like, or like, what's the Herodrum special color? Like, make it like the Herodrum color or something. So I know that that's how much damage that thing is doing. Because I can't tell how much damage it's doing. This one, I have no clue what the F this one's doing. I know what it says, but I've used it a couple times and I can't freaking figure out what the hell it's doing. Says it has a knockback on it. Half the time, the monsters don't even get knocked back. Like, I don't even know. Like, I was playing with it, and like the monsters weren't even getting knocked back when I was using it. Is it bugged? And then this one, the Cosmic Anomaly, is like the only one that's really cool. And then the monsters just like suicide in and blow up. And then because they put the timer so low of like spawning every 5 seconds, and because of course you can like blow them up whenever you want to. Like, you literally just never really have all 5 of them because it takes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 seconds to spawn all 5 of them. So you pretty much never have all 5 of them because you're just constantly blowing them up all the time. They're kind of cool, but their damage is, like, really weird and it's slow to hit the target. There's, like, one of the buffs is to make the damage hit the target instantaneously. It's the lightning buff. But, like, this is probably the coolest one in the entire lot, and it also seems to be, like, horribly stunted by the spawn rate. And then, like, the infusions. Like, the infusions are kind of cool. Like, I'll give it to them. Like, the infusions are okay, because, like, changing the element of the spell is important to get the element of the spell to be, like, what you want it to be to match up with the element that you're using. But then they threw in this, like, when equipped, your fire damage bonus is equal to that of your highest damage type bonus. Basically making it so that you don't have to have, like, a matching element, which I think is kind of stupid. And then they'd left out the physical element, so there's no physical one on here. So, you know, like big middle finger to the, like, the barbarians that, you know, like, have, like, bleed damage or physical damage, or anybody that's doing physical damage at all. Like, big F you to them. Because, like, you know, there's no physical infusion to, like, change the spell into a physical spell. And then there's the modifiers. Like, the modifiers are, like, almost all crap. Like, invoking a catalyst grants unstoppable. Okay, for 5 seconds. Sounds cool. And then you realize that the cooldown on all these, like, the disintegrate cooldown is, what, 5.3 seconds? Is this actually reduced by, like, my Harlequin Crest? So if I take my Harlequin Crest off, does that go up or down? No, it doesn't. So 5.3 seconds on that, 11.2 seconds on that, 7 seconds on that, 4.3 seconds on that, and this one, like, you can just spam it whenever. But, like, yeah, you get unstoppable or unhindered or whatever, or you get some movement speed. Like, okay, cool. Like, not really, like, end-all, game-all, like, breaking of anything. Damage from your catalyst has a 50% chance to deal your Thorns damage. Cool for a Thorns character, I guess. Useless for everybody else. Invoking your catalyst has a 20% maximum resource generation per second for the next 10 seconds. So you get 20% resource gen. Okay. Like, big whoop. Damage from your catalyst has up to a 60% chance to immobilize for 5 seconds. Who effing cares? Your catalyst will daze enemies. It damages for 4 seconds. Who effing cares? Invoking your catalyst grants stealth for 4 seconds. Alright, that's kind of cool. That's not bad. Once per enemy every 5 seconds, damage from your catalyst will fortify and heal you for 10% maximum life. Fortify, useless. Heal, kinda okay. You know why the fortify is useless? Because it's too long of a duration in between the prompts, all right? So when you fortify, the problem with fortification is that fortification will drain as soon as it basically hits a certain number of seconds that you haven't fortified in the past. So every 5 seconds isn't fast enough, and the fortification will just be lost, and you'll never be fortified. So even if you added like 500 fortification every 5 seconds, it's going to go 500, 0, 500, 0, 500, 0, 500, 0. It's never going to stack because the fortification doesn't stack unless it's fast. It has to be like constant. You have to have a constant source of fortification, not a intermittent source of fortification. And if you do have an intermittent sort of source of fortification, it has to be a constant intermittent source of fortification. In other words, you need multiple intermittent sources of fortification coming in at multiple times. You need help with the Lilith boss, Bright Star. I don't think I can help you, buddy. Like, I'm on the PTR right now. I'm not on, like, the main game. Invoking your catalyst grants a barrier equal to 50% of your maximum life for 4 seconds. This one's kind of cool. Like, a barrier. Alright, that's good for everybody who wants to run conceited, needs a barrier, needs to survive. Nice. It only lasts for 4 seconds, though. So if you're using something like Celestial Surge, which is an 11.2 second cooldown, then it's pretty much never going to be up because, like, that's only like 1/3 of the duration of the cooldown. So, you know, F you. Volatile Crystal. Invoking your catalyst grants 20% resistance and maximum resistance to the element of your infusion for 10 seconds. It's kind of cool, right? But it's only one element. I don't know. Like, it's okay, I guess. It's nice for that one element, I suppose, and you could potentially, like, change your infusion to match which element you want it to be. But then changing your infusion is going to lower the damage of all your abilities because now you're not stacking, like, the multipliers and stuff for, like, that specific element. So I don't know. Potent Ally. Your catalyst destroys enemy barriers. That's really cool, but highly niche. It also knocks them down for 5 seconds. If an enemy has a barrier, this is amazing. If they don't have a barrier, completely useless. Fractured Core. Your catalyst deactivates monsters' damage resistant aura effects for 5 seconds. But you take 10% more stacking damage for the same duration. How many monsters have a damage resistance aura? Like, it's only that one monster and you kill that monster. I guess it could be useful if you were, like, trying to, like, speed run and you didn't want to have to worry about killing the damage resistance monster, so you just want to, like, fly through. But it doesn't really seem all that amazing, and you also take more damage for turning off the aura, which is kind of poopy. Sapping Crust, which is vulnerable, gives people an ability to make monsters vulnerable. But if you already have any kind of way to make monsters vulnerable, again, this one's, like, completely useless. It does do it for 8 seconds, but it's also, like, for instance, if you're using Celestial Surge with an 11.2 second cooldown, well, it's not going to be up all the time, so you might want to find another source. If you're using something like Disintegrate, then it could be up all the time. That's an option. Honestly, Cosmic Anomaly just seems like the best option total. Siphoning Gizmo. Lucky Hit. Damage from your catalyst has up to an 8% chance to consume damage over time effects and deal 100% of their damage instantly. Effing amazing. Works amazing. Does exactly what it says. It's also extremely broken. Right now, if you utilize this particular ability, you can do 9 or 18 quintillion damage also, which is a really high number, by the way. If you've never seen it actually written out, it's kind of insane. Gleaming Conduit. Effects as the size of your catalyst is increased. This is honestly kind of useless. Like, the size of your catalyst basically just simply means, well, like, the size of the ability. It's like increasing your Hurricane to be a bigger size, or your Bone Storm to be a bigger size. Like, in the grand scheme of things, a bigger Bone Storm is nice, but doesn't increase your damage in any way, and in general isn't really going to help you in the long run, except for maybe against, like, really big groups of monsters that don't behave. And most of the time, when you're dealing with big groups of monsters, you want to pull them in, because pulling them all in allows you to hit them all at the same time, in which case you don't need 50% increased catalyst size at all. Right? Bloody Charm. Your catalyst gains a specialized execute effect for non-boss enemies with 20% or less life. 20% or less life. That is so low. The only time this would ever be useful, is if you were fighting like really high tier monsters that have like amazingly high health, and a 20% execution would be worth it. In most content, a monster's at 20% HP and he's not a boss, he's probably dead within the next 2 to 3 seconds. So not really all that amazing. It does give you a 20% increased attack speed for 8 seconds when you get a successful execution, which sounds kind of cool, but that means you have to kill a monster. So useless against bosses. So overall, just a useless like effect. Pressurized Steam. Your catalyst, it gives you a stun effect that lasts 3 seconds. Also kind of useless. Might be mildly useful, which is the reason why I'm using it, if you are a character that's based on stunning. The particles from your anomalies deal their damage instantly and have 25% chance to stun. Now this was kind of interesting. It basically made it so that the cosmic anomalies actually did their damage instantly instead of over like this long, like when the cosmic anomalies attack, it's like this. It's like pew, boop, pew, boop. It's like the slowest thing ever. I don't know what they thought when they were making these things, but like this actually kind of makes it somewhat okay, because now they just attack instantly instead of actually having this like big long like mortar volley that they fire that goes like Frigid Heart. Freeze for 5 seconds. It's kind of useful as a CC, but for the most part it's useless if you're already a freeze character that already has like the ability to freeze everything anyway, like a sorceress with freeze. You can freeze everything. Anomalies have a 20% chance to preserve themselves instead of imploding and freeze running enemies. That's kind of cool. Like, again, that makes it so that your anomaly has the ability to, like, actually not explode, which is kind of cool. Your catalyst has the ability to fear effects. Nobody effing wants fear effects. I don't think there's, like, a single build in the game outside of, like, Butcher's Cleaver that uses any fear effects. Nobody touches the dang things. Anomalies fear and apply 80% slow to unaffected enemies they come in contact with, like Big Whoop. Floaty Bobble. Your catalyst gains a specialized blink effect that grants Unhindered for 4 seconds. Unhindered's kind of nice. It lets you run through enemies. It also kind of like, it's sort of similar to Unstoppable, but not the same. Cosmic Anomaly blinks you to the implosion and grants Unhindered and cleanses all your negative effects. Kind of interesting, like, you know, like pulls you around the map. But like overall, you look at the whole picture, and I'm looking at the whole picture, and I'm like pulling it in, and I'm looking at these boss powers, and you know what I'm thinking? It's crap. Like, it's basically just like glorified, like you can customize your ability, like crap. It's like you go to the ice cream shop, and they're like, pick your own ice cream, and like you go to the table, and they've got like chocolate, vanilla, earthworm, turd flavor, booger flavor, vomit flavor, cockroach flavor, and they're like, which one do you want? And you're like, well, I'm definitely not getting the cockroach, turd, booger, vomit. Like, you know what? Just give me like a chocolate and vanilla. Like, okay. Like, and don't use the same spoon you used on those other ones, please. Just like put a half chocolate, half vanilla, I guess. Do you have any sprinkles? No, well, not precisely. We don't have any sprinkles, but we do have broken glass. Would you like some broken glass? And then, like, you're like, no, I'll pass on the broken glass. So you just want a plain vanilla chocolate cone. Okay. Would you like any blood syrup? Is that fake blood? No, this is real blood. It comes from, like... Actually, we're not going to tell you the source because it's pretty gross. But no, I'll pass on the blood syrup. Thank you. Just give me my cone. Like, at this point, you just want to, like, throw the cone in the trash because it's probably touched all the disgusting things that are inside the thing. Like, I don't know what to say about the boss powers other than they just seem stupid. Like, I've played with them, I've messed with them, I've used them, I've customized them, I've used them across multiple characters. They're either extremely broken, like Siphon Gizmo, to the point of absolute insanity, where you're dishing out ridiculous amounts of damage. Cue Barbarian to show off ridiculous amounts of damage that you can do with Siphon and Gizmo. Let's pull up the ridiculous Barbarian so you can see the damage numbers. And then, or they're just like completely useless. Like they do basically nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean like pretty much nothing. They're just doing nothing. It's like, oh, here, have like an extra 200k damage, and you're like, oh, that's great. Like I'm doing like 2 billion over here. Can you pull some weight? And they're like, no. And then the unique items, like, I don't know. I tested out a couple of unique items. Like, the Hydra one is overpowered as all get out. It's super ridiculous. Like, if you want, unless they nerf it, if you want to be an overpowered character, just play the Hydra Sorceress next season. It's gonna absolutely annihilate everything. It's gonna blow up the servers. But you know what? It's also really boring. You're just gonna you're gonna want to tear your own eyes out with how boring it is. I didn't like it, and Leon even said he preferred the original version before they made the unique item. So let's have a look at the beautiful bug numbers just for love and sake. The Barbarian Cleave Boots are amazing, but like I don't know what to think about like how the game is currently running. Like it just feels really weird the way things are going. It feels like they balanced everything very strangely. Like, here's Torment 4. Okay, you can do Torment 4. You can kill all the monsters. You can do everything you need to do. Yep. I'm flying through everything. All right, now go fight the boss. Why is he so tanky? Like, big, giant damage sponge bosses that take, like, way too long to kill. Unless you're one of the bugged builds that can just, like, fly past everything. I should just, you know what I should do? I should just have a live stream of just this. Just like find some way to like hold down the click button and just go AFK and just never come back. I'll just go like watch some movies or something and just have like a 12-hour live stream of my Barbarian just like sitting here like attacking the training dummy. And I'll come by every now and then to make sure he's still there attacking the training dummy, like doing quintillions of damage. And then, like, you know, I'll just make sure it's running just for like 12 hours straight. That's some sort of like plea to the developers to like find a way to make the game more interesting, as opposed to like add more damage and add more HP. Like, do the developers not understand that increasing the HP of a monster does not make things difficult? Like, and increasing the damage of the player also likewise does not make things more difficult or easier. Like, it just makes things more boring. Like, you would think, and this is a formula, right? So you would think that making the game harder equals more fun, right? And normally that's the case. But when their idea of making the game more harder just simply means more HP, that equals boring. You would think that making your character do more damage would equal more fun. But when the more damage is so high that the monsters don't even stand a ghost of a chance in hell, and you're literally swatting through everything like you're literally just like killing flies with a fly swatter, do you know what this equals? This equals boring. Like, they don't understand the difference between making the game harder and creating damage sponges. They don't understand the difference between making the game more fun by allowing us to do more damage and creating a situation where we literally have no challenge, right? You don't want no challenge, you want a challenge. You don't want monsters that are HP sponges. You want monsters that are challenging and fun to fight, right? Like, let me give, like, actual analogous examples to this, okay? So, an analogy for this... I got these stupid little things chasing after me. So, an analogy for this example is like this. It's like a grand chess master playing against a 5-year-old, right? This is essentially what this represents. Like, it doesn't... If you're skilled at the game and you know what you're doing, why would you want to play versus a 5-year-old? That's just stupid, right? And this, the more HP part, a good analogy for this is something along the lines of like this. A grand chess master versus 10 million 5-year-olds, right? How long do you think it's going to take him to beat 10 million 5-year-olds? It's going to take him a long time. Does that mean it was difficult? Does that mean it was fun? Probably not. Like, it's probably going to be pretty boring playing chess versus 10 million 5-year-olds. In fact, they're probably going to be picking their nose and, like, putting their finger in their butt half the time while you're playing. And you're going to be waiting for them to do a move. Like, this is the equivalent of adding more HP to the monsters. And this is the equivalent of giving you 10 trillion, billion, quintillion HP, and the monsters basically being, like, the easiest things in the world to kill. Like, what we want is this. We want Grand Chess Master versus Grand Chess Master. This is what we want. We want this. Like, this is the correct path. We don't want this. We don't want the game to be too easy. And we don't want this. We don't want the game to be boring because the monsters have 10 quintillion HP. We want this. I don't know. And this PTR has been so horribly bugged. Like, I don't even want to step foot back in this PTR. Like, I really don't. Like, it's so bad. It's probably one of the, like, worst PTRs I've participated in. Like, everything in the world that could go wrong in this PTR has gone wrong. Broken masterworking. Nothing, no settings stick. They reset every time you reboot the game. Also, tempering is broken. Can't reset tempers. Temper limits. Can't enchant items that have been tempered. Infernal hordes, like Doojanks, the actual, like, compasses, don't work unless you find them. Seasonal powers did not work on copied characters. Only new seasonal characters, which asked, basically, I was then in the question, I asked the question, why the F were we allowed to copy the characters in the first place if we were going to be prevented from actually testing those characters that we copied with the new features? Like, they basically gave us the ability to copy the characters over, but then didn't give us the ability to actually use the seasonal powers on the characters we copied over, which completely defeated the purpose of copying the seasonal characters over in the first place, right? Bugged seasonal powers, like, to the point where literally the seasonal powers either A, don't work, or B, give you literally quintillion damage. And I could go on. Like, the number of bugs that I've encountered this PTR, like, that have prevented me from being able to, like, actually do anything within the game. Like, the broken masterworking, the no settings, like, the tempering being broken, like, not being able to enchant items that have been tempered, like, it's not even been able to reset the temper limit on items. It has made everything so ridiculously difficult to test the entire time I've been doing this. On top of this, like, half the boxes given by the cheat vendor were containing either A, defective items that basically didn't work, or B, only non-ancestral equipment, which made the entire like process of testing things like ridiculously difficult, or didn't contain the item at all in the case of the necromancer, so the necro gloves weren't even in the class box. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous how bad this PTR has been. The first PTR was really bad. It was really bad. And we complained about a lot of stuff because, well, it was awful. And it was very hard to test anything in the PTR. They didn't give us any ability to copy characters. We didn't have a cheat vendor. We had nothing, right? And it was horrible. Like, a lot of people complained. And this PTR has been worse than that one. Like, in many ways, I had to spend more time going out of my way to fix the things that they had, the bugs that they had created, essentially. To, like, test anything, like, with this system. Like, the system is so badly set up right now. I don't know what they did. Like, I really don't know what they did. They broke, like, half the mechanics in the game. Half the stuff in the game is just, like, not functioning properly. And then the crashing, too. Like, so the server was just randomly crashing, or you would randomly lag out and the game wouldn't crash, but you couldn't do anything. And then, of course, this exasperated this issue with the no settings sticking, because every time the game crashed, or you had to force crash the game because it would just lock up in a soft lock, all the settings would then reset, and then you would have to go through the process of turning things back on. Things that are really important, like, for instance, the ability to, you know, like, have your advanced tooltip compare and advanced tooltip information, which actually lets you know what the minimum and maximum rolls are, and other information that you need to know, like, that's actually pretty important for setting up characters. And even the, like, I don't know what was wrong with the gambling vendor either. It seemed like the gambling vendor was very wonky as well. Like, I know sometimes I was in, like, normal difficulty or, like, Torment 1 or something, but there was times even when I was in Torment 4 it was, like, spazzing out and doing weird stuff. You guys want to see one of my, like, triple masterworked items? I posted a screenshot of it. I thought it was hilarious. This is some of the stuff that you could do in, like, in this season. Let me post a picture of it because it's funny. I'll put it up on the stream. Where's my triple masterworked? Oh, here's my triple double. Here's my triple double masterworked item. That was beautiful. And then I also had a triple double in another way. So it's a triple double with a single. Sounds like I'm talking about hamburgers here. Yes, exactly. Like, this is the kind of, like, craziness that was going on with the masterworking system too. Like, 2 triple greater affixes and a single greater affix, or a masterwork on the same item. This one is 1 single and 3 double greater masterworks on the same item. Whatever they did to break that stuff is, like, absolutely bonkers. I don't even understand, like, what they did. And then the whole thing with the Shard of Verithiel and not being able to get an 8th Shard of Verithiel, they literally made huge changes to all of the basic skills and gave the Barbarian an item specifically for basic skills. And then we couldn't get a freaking Shard of Verithiel, which is for the basic skills, to test out the basic skill changes that they made. I had to gamble this. Like, I had to gamble this one. This 140 was one that I gambled. And this is not even a freaking ancestral. And I think they might have, like, fixed the box later, but start punching the air. And I want to test out the stuff. Like, obviously, I want to test out the stuff. I'm here. I want to test out the things. But like, why is it so hard to test this stuff out? When they organize these PTRs, do they ever even come on here and test this stuff out themselves? Like, do they actually use these functions and like try and build characters with them? Like at all? Like past like a level 1 character that they put some white items on? Because I feel like if they actually used any of this stuff, they would have discovered these problems themselves. One person walking up to a vendor and masterworking an item and ending up with a double triple with a single masterwork on it, like a 10-year-old would have discovered this. Like anybody who walked up to the vendor and masterworked something would have seen this bug. Anybody who tried to temper an item would have found the bug where literally if you over temper an item, it no longer allows you to reset, because you would have tried to reset it and you would have found out it doesn't reset anymore. Anybody who tempered an item and then moved over to here to freaking enchant the item would have discovered this stupid bug that literally makes it so that you can't enchant the item anymore. Like, these are so lowbrow, like easy to see bugs that anybody who went into this server and did anything of merit would have discovered them in 10 to 20 minutes tops. Why are they here? It's not like it would have taken you like 3 days and a Harvard degree to discover these bugs. These are things that crop up the moment that you try and put a character together. The second you try and put a character together, you're literally like the first day I got on here, I triple double masterworked an item, and I'm like, well, that seems wrong. Huh. This doesn't seem right. This seems a little off. You're not supposed to be able to get 2 triple masterworks on one item and a single. Like, this doesn't seem right. I think something's off here. I could be wrong, though. I like posted it in Discord immediately, and then like immediately got this item, which was like a double triple. Like a triple double. Sorry, triple double, not a double triple. My bad. A double triple is 2 triples. This is a triple double and a single. With it's got some like you got and the fries. It's got and some fries. That's what I asked, Jesvin. So Jesvin just said, if there was no PTR at all, would these bugs have made it into the game? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I said that to Leon. I'm like, if we didn't have a PTR, would these bugs have just made it right into the server? I was like, you know, normally they catch stuff, like small stuff, but this is a lot of stuff. I'm like, would they have just launched the season with all of this broken? And you know, there was a time when we didn't have any public test realms at all. There was a time when we literally begged them. We pleaded with them. We begged and pleaded for PTRs because they kept making mistake after mistake, and they would launch the seasons and there would be these horrible bugs in every season. And we would sit there and we're just like, can you please just give us a PTR? Like, I know you want it to be a surprise, but like, you keep coming up with like these horrible surprises. You're like, oh babe, it's your birthday, I got you a surprise, yay! And you open the box and there's a turd in there, and you're like, babe, there's a turd in my box. But oh no, that wasn't supposed to be a turd, that was supposed to be a rabbit. Oh, where's the rabbit at? Oh, what a mistake. Who put a turd in there instead of a rabbit? We're gonna have to fix this. You're like, but you still gave me a box with a turd in it, like a real big meaty turd too, with like corn and peanuts in it. And Cody's like drooling right now because I'm talking about turds, because he eats rat roop. That's right, rat roop. It's just, and then so like we finally got them to do the PTR, right? We finally got them to do the PTR, and we're like, okay, finally we can like fix some of these bugs. And we get in there and like we find the bugs and we tell them about them, and they fix the bugs before the season. And like the first time ever we get a season that actually has like relatively no bugs in it, right? Relatively no bugs. Even though we report some of the bugs, they just don't fix them. I guess they just decided they didn't want to fix some of the bugs. They're just like, yeah, who cares about that? I'll just let that go. Which lends into the question, like, I think maybe sometimes they leave the bugs in deliberately to, like, inspire, like, to get people excited. You know, because, like, if you put something in as a feature, it's not exciting, right? It's a feature. If you put something in as a bug and you don't tell anybody and then somebody discovers it, they're all super excited. They're like, oh my God, I found the cure for cancer, you know, or whatever. And they're like screaming from the rooftops. They're like, oh my God, you believe you can do like 10 million damage with it? I can't believe this. I honestly think that's what happened in Season 6. So my official, like, consensus on Season 6 that I have determined is that the Spiritborn was bugged. So everybody knows this. The Spiritborn was bugged in Season 6, right? He was so bugged. He was the buggiest bug that ever bugged, right? He was, like, amazing. Like, pit tier 150 speed running bugged. Like, that's how fast he was. He wasn't just doing pit 150s. People were speed running pit 150s and posting their times to fight for dominance in the season. That's how bugged the Spiritborn was, right? So this is my personal opinion of what happened with the Spiritborn, and I'm going to let you guys in on my consensus. And I've actually thought about this. I've looked at it from all the angles, and there's only one conclusion, okay? And the conclusion is basically this. Blizzard wanted people to like the new class, okay? This is the consensus that I came up with. Blizzard wanted people to like the new class. So what they did is they deliberately placed a bug that would be found by the player base. Not all the bugs, okay? Not all the bugs, mind you. But they deliberately placed one or more bugs in the character. So deliberately placed one or more bugs into the character. All right? And this was to increase hype for the character, right? Which isn't even really a bad idea, and I don't fault them for it, okay? The problem. Now, this was the problem. Okay? There were more bugs than they left in. Okay? So let's pretend for a second that Blizzard left in like 1 to 2 bugs because they wanted to increase the hype of the character, which is reasonable and understandable. What happened is that in reality, there was more like 4 to 8 bugs plus the 1 to 2 bugs that they left in. And what happened is the 1 to 2 bugs that they left in were multiplying against the 4 to 8 bugs that were already existing within the character, which equaled literally quintillion damage. And this is my official, like, I really think that this is the case. I think that Blizzard deliberately placed bugs into the character to make people enjoy the character, and it was a good idea because it increases the hype for the character. The problem was they didn't fully vet the character, and there was like 4 to 8 other bugs in the character, which also rose up around the same time frame, multiplying against the bugs that they had left in, causing an untold feedback loop, essentially. A feedback loop, which is the same thing that we currently have right now. And the feedback loop eventually basically just made infinite damage. And that's what happens when you have 2 skills that interact with each other in a very bad way. You have a feedback loop. The feedback loop continually multiplies against itself until eventually you have infinite damage, or as infinite as you can get in a 64-bit environment, which is 18 quintillion 444 quadrillion damage. That's the maximum amount of damage that anyone can do in a 64-bit game. Now, we could go higher if it was a 120-bit game. If it was a 128-bit game, we could go higher. Like, we could. Those are rookie numbers, my friend. We could go much higher than that in a 128-bit game, because feedback loops don't stop. That's the problem with feedback loops. So when you have a feedback loop, it continues to rise forever until it hits some sort of ceiling. In a 64-bit environment, the ceiling is 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, blah, 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 blah. However, once you pass that, it starts to go into the negative numbers, and the negative numbers also go to 9 quintillion, 223 trillion, which eventually adds up to a total of 18 quintillion, 446 quadrillion damage. Which is right there on the screen, as you can clearly see. 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, blah, 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 blah. See it? It's beautiful, isn't it? Look at it. Look at that. Look at that beautiful max negative integer overflow damage. See it on the screen there? It's glorious looking. I saw a max integer negative overflow. It was 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, 372 trillion, and 36 billion. 854,775,808. I'll make a forecast for you guys. All right, this is a forecast. I'm gonna make a forecast for you on the season coming up. Okay, here's my forecast. Hydra OP, Flay OP, probably Bear Pulverize OP. I would probably throw that in the OP category. And also like Skelly Mage OP, right? And people are going to hate the boss powers, or hate the new, the new boss powers. These are not the boss powers from last season. The boss powers from last season were way better. These new boss powers, the new ones, they're honestly trash. They're not very good at all, and like I don't think anybody's really going to like them for the most part. There's very little customizability to them, despite the fact that they literally like. What was it? Screamed from the rooftops during the campfire chat about how customizable they are, until you realize that they're about as customizable as like a toothbrush. Like, what do you want? Red, blue. All right, we got red. Okay. Well, how many bristles do you want? Like more or less? More. All right, more bristles. Do you want them long or short? You're like, okay, short bristles. Alright, that's it. You're done. Here's your customizable toothbrush. You've gotten it. The game is like it's kind of like we're basically playing the same season as before. Like, I hate to say it, but like we're basically playing the same season as last season, but a little worse. But it's just a little worse than last season. Like, the boss powers are not as good. They're a little worse than the boss powers from last season. Like, the Hydra is OP, but like the previous Hydra was OP too, and like so like the hybrids it's just a little worse than last season. Like, I don't know. Like, there was a Skelly Mage build from last season too, and it's like I don't know if it's a little better or a little worse. I can't really tell. Like, it might be around the same. I don't know. Like, are these characters going to be still overpowered at the end of PTR? I don't know. Hydra might get nerfed. Like, I was looking at Hydra, and it could possibly get nerfed. Flay, I don't know if Flay can actually do as much damage as it is stating. Once they actually take care of the problem where it's literally backflowing into itself, I don't know if Flay is going to be OP. It might get nerfed unintentionally with the killing of the interaction between the boss power, which apparently has been something that was really easy to do, and a lot of people might not even realize that they were doing it until, like, maybe they saw this video and they're like, huh, maybe I'm using this too. So Flay might get, like, unintentionally nerfed. I don't even know. Skelly Mage, like, there's some glitches with it. Like, there's a couple problems with it, but it's pretty OP. I don't know if it's gonna get nerfed. I think it might stay the same. I don't even know if this one's gonna get touched. Skelly Mage might actually survive the PTR, like, relatively intact. Pretty much any build right now that is using like elemental damage plus dots can be like absolutely ridiculous because of the boss boss power, the Herodric power called Siphoning Gizmo. And when they nerf Siphoning Gizmo, which I'm sure that they are going to, Siphoning Gizmo is going to like bring these down as 2. So these are probably also going to get nerfed if they mess with Siphoning Gizmo and completely destroy that. Oh, speaking of, I didn't go over the gems. Let's go over the gems. So like, let's talk about the Jimmy Gems. I didn't even do the Jimmy Gems. So, Tyrant, which I thought was going to be really powerful. After you deal damage over time to an enemy, they take 0.33 more damage, multiply negative damage over time from you forever. I don't really see much damage increase from this one. I don't know why. And I've built several damage over time builds in the PTR. It doesn't really seem as powerful as I thought it was going to be. They must have put some sort of cap on it or something. I don't know. Like, it doesn't really do what I thought it was going to do. And it's not even required to cause the siphoning glitch, which causes quintillion damage. Like, you don't even need it. This one right here with the, like, extra attack speed when you use your, like, ultimate is kind of cool. But then on top of that, like, you can't really spam your ultimate on all your characters. So it's only really good for characters that can spam their ultimate. It's not bad. What is this one called? I don't even remember. This is the one where you gain primary core stat, maximum life. It's basically the same gem from the occult. Which, by the way, these are literally just, like, rehashed occult gems from the season of the witchcraft. Like, these are literally just witchcraft gems, by the way. For those of you who played the season of the witchcraft, they're literally just witchcraft gems. This was one of the more popular ones from the season of witchcraft, and they put in a bunch of guardians that come and attack you every now and then. I thought it was going to be kind of cool. I thought they'd come and attack you all the time. They don't come and attack you all the time. They seem to be on like a really long timer. I don't know what the timer is. I could probably sit there and like find out, but like it's not as frequent as I would have thought. They're weak and they're easy to kill, and I mean the buff is really good. It is what it is. Like, it's a good gem, but like the actual like guardian, jewel guardian thing is weird. Could have been better, more well done, I feel like. Your catalyst deals 33% weapon damage of your infusion element over 3 seconds. This one's kind of cool. Basically gives you the ability to kind of like add additional damage in. I wanted to use this for my Flay Barbarian to add in more bleeds or physical damage or whatever, right? But like, couldn't do it because there's no physical infusion gem. But it works good if you're doing like a build that has an element type that matches the infusion gem and you're building that. The lucky hit dealing damage of your infusion's element type has a 33% chance to trigger its secondary effect. Kind of stupid, especially since the secondary effect is not always good. But it's like, eh. While you have 2 more Arcana of School Denial equipped to gain 30 times more Barrier, Fortify, and Thorns. The Thorns part is cool. Fortify and the Barrier part are kind of okay. I mean, I could see they're throwing some bones to the Thorns characters this season, but like, Thorns needs some help in some other ways. I don't know what Thorns needs, but I've done a lot of Thorns characters, and they're just never really like the best characters. They're okay. If you would take fatal damage, instead prevent that damage and invoke Propulsion and become invulnerable for 3 seconds. This can only occur once every 75 seconds. They always like make these cool things that can prevent you from death and then put them on a long enough timer that like they're useful once and that's about it, and then you die shortly thereafter. Your catalyst deal 100% times more damage. However, you lose control over your Herodric spellcraft, causing your catalyst to inherit infusions randomly. Kind of cool, but it also like completely randomizes the elements, which makes it something that you're maybe not gonna pick. Depends on what you're doing. Infusions are 150% more potent. I mean, that one's kind of cool. The infusions aren't really all that amazing though. Like, some of them have cool effects and some of them don't. Depends on which one you're doing. Like, this one increases the chill potential, which isn't amazing. This one, it would probably increase the poison damage, which is kind of nice. Like, it depends on which one you put it on. But, like, some of them are good, some of them are not. This one's amazing. 20% more times more elemental damage, but you also take 10% times more elemental damage yourself. After you kill or injure or kill an enemy, your summons are empowered, growing larger and dealing 30% times more damage for 4 seconds. Straight up a copy of the one from the occult. Everybody who was a summon used it. It's a good gem. I mean, it kind of sucks that you have to injure or kill something before it activates, though. Like, I feel like they nerfed it significantly by putting in that, because I don't remember it being injure or killing during the season of the occult. It was something else entirely, and I feel like they just completely like poured dog water on that. Your catalytic skills gain 25% cooldown reduction. I mean, that's kind of good because you need to spam your catalytic skills, but I don't know if I want to waste a gem slot for that. Your Arcana from a unique school, you have equipped 5% damage reduction and 1% maximum resistance to all elements. I mean, it's defensive. Most people don't want to go for defensive stuff when they're having trouble killing things. While you have 2 or more Arcana from School of Power equipped, you gain 25% movement speed and 15% critical strike chance. Movement speed and critical strike chance are thrown around like candy, like in this game. Like, you can get 100%, you can get 200% critical strike chance. I bet you I could do it. And, like, it's not really that hard to do. And movement speed also. You can get 200% movement speed easily as well. It's cool and all, but mildly useless in the grand scheme of things unless you desperately need crit chance or you desperately need move speed for some reason, which is usually not the case. After you cast your catalytic skill, gain 10 primary resource. You know how useless that is? I looked at that and I was like, what's the cooldown on these abilities? 5.3 seconds. So 10 primary resource every 5.3 seconds. 11.2 seconds. 10 primary resource every 11.2 seconds. 7 seconds. So 10 primary resource every 7 seconds. Propulsion, 4.3. That's a little bit better. So 10 primary resource every 4.3 seconds. Cosmic Anomaly, spawn rate 5 seconds. So you can only blow up 1 Cosmic Anomaly every 5 seconds. So you get 10 resource every 4.3 seconds at best. Who thought this one up? Like, who thought 10 primary resource every 4.3 seconds was going to be worth a slot? Did they really think that was going to be worth a slot? Did they think it was going to be like everybody was just going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe it, 10 primary resource every 5 seconds? Boy, I am never going to need resource again. Seal of Control. While you have 2 or more Arcana from the School of Control equipped, gain 45% times control duration and 30% lucky hit chance. The 30% lucky hit chance is kind of nice. Like, I can't hate them all. I can't hate them all. I don't know who made these. Like, I really don't. I don't know who made these and thought this was like good stuff. Like, they're just like, oh man, we're gonna give them the ability to freeze stuff for 5 seconds. They're gonna love this. Oh man, we're gonna give them the ability to be vulnerable on stuff for 8 seconds. This is gonna be great. You know what? We're gonna give them the ability to get 70% increased move speed for 5 seconds after doing their catalyst DJ. They're gonna get 70% move speed. This is amazing. You know what? Let's give them some the days for 4 second days. Let's give them 4 second dazes. You know, monsters go unstoppable. You guys know this? Are you guys aware of this? That monsters go unstoppable, and that once they're unstoppable, you can't use any crowd control on them while they're unstoppable. Like after they've been, it's like an anti-CC mechanic, so you can't like lock down a target. So like the more CC you have, like the worse it gets. Like the monsters are just unstoppable all the time. So you generally don't want to just spam like 1,000 million CCs on a target. You kind of want to have like CCs that are actually important, CCs that are actually going to like help you. Like things that are going to be like long duration, that are going to hold the monster down for a long time. Because as soon as it wears off, they're unstoppable. And as soon as they become unstoppable, well, you can't CC them anymore. You can't crowd control them anymore. So like, I don't understand why they've got all these random crowd controls in here. Like we don't already have all these crowd controls on at our disposal, except for maybe the freeze one. The freeze one's the only one that really makes any sense, because the freeze one actually gives you the ability to freeze targets, where they took that away on like everything. Like Frostburns doesn't have freeze anymore. Azura's Wrath doesn't have freeze anymore. They took away a whole bunch of like methods of freezing targets, because apparently freezing targets is like the devil or something. I don't understand why. Freezing targets is fun. Like, I honestly, if this was me, like, and I had this going out for the next season, like, I don't think I would let this go. Like, I think I would stop the production team and be like, hey, we got to do better. Like, we got to do better than this. Like, this isn't like on like up to snuff. Like, this isn't on par with like the minimum quality that we should accept. Like the minimum quality is like here, and like these boss powers are like down here somewhere. Like, I don't even know. And that's only like, even if you count the siphoning gizmo being broken. Like, if I count the siphoning gizmo being broken, I'm ranking it like down here. Like, even if they fix it and siphoning gizmo becomes useless, it's going like below the screen. Like, we're hitting the bottom at this point. I mean, it seems like we got the B team coming in. That's what it seems like. Like, it seems like we had all hands on deck for season 6. And it seems like season 7 was all hands on deck too. And then season 8, it was half hands on deck. And season 9 seems to be like no hands on deck. That's what it seems like. Like, we went from full hands on deck to one hand on deck. And now we got no hand on deck. And I didn't say dick, but I mean, there's no hands on the dick either. And that's just sad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the next season's going to be fun. But I think it's going to be fun despite all this. Not because of all this. Like, it's going to be fun despite this. Like, you're going to have fun because you're going to find ways to have fun. You're going to make builds that you like. And you're going to find a way to, like, create your own fun in the game. I don't really think a lot of the things that are being added in the season are really going to be, like, the source of the fun that you're having. These boots are probably the best thing in the whole season. Like, I don't even think I'm joking. I think these boots are literally the best thing in the whole new season. Like, these boots, you might as well just play a barbarian and have fun with like a basic build, because these boots are like the most fun thing in like the whole season. Maybe I'd include the necromancer gloves. The necromancer gloves are pretty good. The hands of Nas, the ones that give you like a whole bunch of like mages, those are kind of fun too. Like, okay, I'll say the hooves of the mountain god and the necro gloves. Those are like the two most like amazing things in this season, and everything else is just kind of meh. I'm gonna go watch some Apothecary Diaries. I'm gonna lay down and I'm gonna get myself some sleep. And Kubus is gonna try and steal my snacks, because you're a snack thief. You're a thiefums. This boy will literally, like, I'll be eating a snack, right? I'll be eating a snack. Like, pretend you're me and you're eating a snack, right? So this is you and you're eating a snack, right? So you got the snack in your hand. This is Kubus. He's like this. What you got? What's that? Is that a snack? Do you like that? What is that? You gonna eat that? You're gonna eat that snack? Cause I like it if you're not gonna eat it. Are you gonna eat it? And I'm like, get out my face! I'm like, ah, dang! Why are you so close? All right, guys and gals. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals joining. Be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing tomorrow, but I know that the day after tomorrow, we're going to be playing Elden Ring Night Rain. So there's that. As always, be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. And as always, keep laughing.